I bet you break stuff all the time, don't you, Dylan?
Oh, baby, and we are back, everybody. Welcome back to Words with Wayman. I am your host, as always, Matt Wayman. Please join us online at Words with Wayman on Twitter, Words with Wayman on Facebook. We're going to jump right in. You heard him just a second ago, everybody. Local Denver business magnate, does everything, comedian, podcaster, sexual being. Please give it up, Mr. Zac Maas.
Hey, how's it going,
Thanks
everybody?
for coming out, sweet daddy.
Yeah, I was just commenting on how your dog seems like he breaks stuff.
Yeah.
And then immediately after that, he knocked over a some sort of tribal figurine.
Yeah, a tribal
I guess
statue.
Is that some sort of sex statue?
Probably.
Is that fertility. It looks like a fertility statue.
Fertility guy. My girlfriend got it at a garage sale, probably, you know.
Yeah, I like to start every podcast with a visual.
That's what I love about
for
you.
The listeners.
That's
you know?
one of my 3 favorite things about you. We're going to hop right in, baby. You know, this is a creative-driven podcast. We start from the beginning. Where did Little Moss come out at?
Where did Little Moss come out at? As far as doing creative stuff,
or like born-wise, birth stuff.
Oh, I was born in Deadwood, South Dakota.
We're all creative maestros grow up.
Yeah, the Black Hills, the Wild West.
Yeah.
Not really at all. The Black Hills, yes.
The Mild West.
Yeah. More like, the Mild West. I like that. Wow, did you just come up with that
I
right
did.
now?
You can have it.
Oh,
That's
wow.
for you.
I'm impressed.
Make a T-shirt and make some money off that.
Yeah, the Mild West. Well, I don't think they like to think that. I think when
they'll shoot you
I
for
think a lot of
saying
people that stay there are there by choice. Are like they'd be like, I like it mild. I don't like spicy.
Yeah.
You know, like spicy's too much for me.
Keep your spice, big city. We'll keep it mild here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a good place to grow up.
Absolutely.
But and I lived in Spearfish originally, and then my parents separated when I was 3,
Okay.
and then I grew up in Rapid City and Spearfish, back and forth.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
So that happened when you were 3. Were you traumatized young kid?
Not really.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I wanted to wait and deal with more of that stuff when I was an adult. Probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is I wanted to have a childhood, so it really didn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
Capitalism was in full force. I was being raised by televisions. I just wanted things.
Yeah.
Stuff
oriented.
Normal kid.
Yeah. Did you play sports and stuff?
I did play sports. I played baseball.
Nice.
I played football.
Cool.
I did track.
What was your track event?
I did basketball. I was what I do, shot put.
Cool.
And
I don't meet a lot of shot putters or discus guys.
Shot put and discus.
Yeah.
Well, so the reason why I did track, in a lot, the reason I did track was because it was something to do. Like track, you had one day where you had this track meet and you got out of school.
Oh, that's cool.
And you got to go to this track meet, and it was basically like you hanging out with all the girls in track all day.
Yeah.
So I did track pretty much every year.
I did track even when track was not in season. If you know what I mean.
In middle school, I did track. What sucked is that they wouldn't let you just because kids hated to run.
Yeah, of course.
So they were like, the fat kids are like, we're not very good at running. We want to do shot put. But the thing about being a shot put or a discus player is they made you run every day.
Whoa.
And if you weren't a distance runner, distance runners had to run a longer amount, but the shot putters had to run the same as the sprinters and everybody else.
That's crazy.
So we had to run a few miles. And basically, every day at track was just me figuring out how to pretend that I ran that much.
So it was definitely solving puzzles from the start.
Yeah, and the coaches would drive by to make sure that you were actually running it.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever ran it.
You shouldn't have to if you're a shot putter. I thought that was the reason everybody did shot put.
Well, yeah, I think it was
big dudes.
I think what really is a shot putter is they're testing your intelligence.
Yeah.
Can you figure out how to avoid this? We found a culvert, and we would just run, and then when the coaches weren't there, then we would run down to this culvert And then wait till we heard people coming
Nice.
up and enough people coming up, and then we would go back up
That's
to the
funny.
top and run
For a second,
back.
I thought you said a Culver's. It's like we found a Culver's, so we would go down and get
No.
hamburgers and as many shakes as
What
we
do they call a big
Like a
ground
goalie?
concrete tube round your parts?
Heck yeah. No, I didn't know what that was until you said that at that moment. But now
Yeah.
I know what that is.
Yeah, we have those. We have those all over the place.
Big culvert town.
Yeah,
up
they're
there.
like they're like an inner city place to go do drugs.
Yeah, or graffiti
Yeah.
or
There was one
drink.
literally walking distance, like 5 to 10 minutes walking distance from my high school, where you
That's
could go in
awesome.
there and then you could just go like hundreds of feet into this.
What?
I mean, I don't
Didn't
know
the
how
cops
far
know
it
to
went.
check it?
They would every once in a while,
Yeah.
but I mean, you could hear them come, but nobody knew how far it went. There was like urban legends of people just like
Yeah.
running in forever, into the tube, but you don't want to. They start to split once you go in a certain ways, and then
Wow.
you can get lost and shit.
Sure. Aren't they for like
under-
rainwater and stuff too?
underground. Well, then if it rains, man,
Yeah, then
oh,
it's game
boy.
over.
Yeah.
And then that's an X-Files episode waiting to happen right there. Where did you go to high school at?
I went to a few places. Initially, I went to Stevens High School, which was where.
Steve was a pretty cool guy.
Stevens-
Steven was nice.
Yeah, that was.
He just ran out of his basement.
I don't know. The town's kind of split in half in Rapid City, and there's like the rich side of town and the poor side of town.
Yeah.
And I was like a poor kid on the rich side of town, so like I was like the poor kid. Like there was kids in my
Intermingling.
high school, like very common that their first car was like a brand new car.
Yeah, definitely. I knew some kids like that.
Yeah, there was a
Which
lot.
is dumb to do to a brand new kid because they will immediately crash it.
Oh yeah, I mean, and then the problem was that then their parents would just buy them another one.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I don't know. There was a lot of that kind of shit going on.
What's the big industry up there?
Fuck, I don't even know.
Like
man.
cattle or oil or
I think
something?
there's like I don't even know what it is, man. I think it's like you can just if you find, if you're a doctor or a
Yeah,
lawyer
definitely.
or I mean it's a town of like 65,000 people when I was
Yeah,
growing up. So
definitely.
I mean, you have people if you're one of the contractors in
professions,
towns
yeah.
or the, I don't know.
the bankers, yeah, all that stuff. Just basically like old town professions.
Yeah. But and then you have all the people that, like work in the service industries on the other side of town, I guess.
Oh yeah, which is I think it's still like I definitely knew growing up in St. Louis, but still like that in a significant portion of this country.
Yeah.
If you would have fallen out of that chair, that would have been crazy.
Yeah, I'm glad that didn't
Yeah.
slip out because
Yeah.
I would have probably
The chair
spilled that
almost slipped out.
hot
Yeah.
coffee directly into my face.
You just like throw the coffee onto the laptop, and it's like that's the end of that.
I'm not used to sitting in antique furniture.
It is kind of it is an antique chair that my girlfriend got at an estate sale. I think that one was out. She's a collector.
Yeah, it's a weird way to sit.
It
It's
is a weird way to
not,
sit. You're
if
making it
I-
look easy.
If I hadn't been dieting since the new year, I don't think I would fit into this.
I think that you look fantastic. You know that. Those cheekbones alone can't get away from those. So college or high school was fun.
Yeah, I didn't really go, which led to me like getting kicked out. I got kicked out of my house when I was 16 for shit. I think I made it like 2 or 3 months before I got like charged with the crime and was forced to move back home. But
That's how it goes.
yeah, I got charged with marijuana possession.
Oh goodness!
Because the cops came to our house looking for a runaway.
Really?
Yeah, like my roommate's girlfriend's. She was actually off banging some other dude.
Whoa!
But her mom hadn't seen her in a few days. Either had he. But she called her in as a runaway and said that she was probably at our place.
Definitely.
And yeah, the cops came and they found. You remember the little tiny M&Ms that came in the like little canister thing?
Oh yeah.
Those canisters are like great little weed things.
Oh,
back
of
in the
course,
day.
yeah.
But we had one of those that was totally full of swag beaners, like all the way to the top.
Whoa.
And then we had another bag that had like just like a half ounce of stems in it. And because we were, like swag stems.
That's what you did back then.
We were saving all of that shit to make weed food.
Of course.
You make brownies out of it or
Definitely.
whatever. And the cops came in. That's all. We didn't have any weed. We had a bag
and they
of
arrested
stems
everybody?
They didn't arrest everybody, but they ended up like writing me a ticket. But my roommate, they're like, we're taking you to jail though, buddy. We're going to take you to jail because of the amount of these seeds here. Like, this is enough to, like, start a major operation.
Nobody would want to smoke that weed if you did grow it. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, they're the
It is a big deal in small towns like that. It still probably is to this day. But they take weed too serious.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's one of the scary things about...
So then you're back at home. So were you out of school? You dropped out of high school by that point?
Yeah, I dropped out. And then, like, when I got in trouble for that, they, like, put me on probation. So I had to go back to school, and then I went to an alternative school after that.
I find that helps a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, it was way more my speed. There just wasn't any homework. That was always my problem with school, was like once I left school, it was like, what, you expect me to go home?
Yeah.
And then...
I've got a lot of drugs to do with school or whatever it is.
Yeah, I've got drugs to do. I've got, 2 channels to watch.
Yeah, I've video game consoles at that point.
I mean, let's be honest. After puberty, fucking who gives a shit about school? You're interested in girls, which is...
I went to an all-boys high school. I get it. It was rough.
You went to an all-boys?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, why?
Because my mom hated me, apparently. That's why it happened.
Yeah. Did you have a incident and then they put you in there? Or
no,
they were always like, ooh, this boy, he's such a lady killer. We got to isolate him from the main population.
Right, get him out of here. That was not the issue. It's big in St. Louis. It's kind of like it's a really Catholic city, and that's how they do it in big Catholic cities. So,
oh, fuck that.
Separate them.
God, I would have rebelled so hard.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. I mean, especially when I got out of school, I would have been like, I'm fucking finding women somewhere.
Oh, yeah, it is going to happen. I'm sure you're rebelling pretty hard. I mean, it sounds like in your own way. You have to, though. That's the fun part. So then you get out, back with the parents, back in school, and then you finished up? Or at the alternative school? Or just kind of...
Fuck that, man.
Yeah. Just said no?
It was just to appease probation.
Oh, cool.
I don't know. I dropped out and took my GED.
Yeah, I mean,
and then I just passed it, and like so I could have been in school till I was like 20 something, or I started college when I was 18 and graduated when I was 21.
Nice.
So with a bachelor's degree.
Hell yeah.
But it was from a tech school, so I mean it doesn't really matter.
No, I mean you did it. I mean it's still schooling. I think there's one thing especially these days, it's not really as important as it used to be. In some senses. Yeah,
I don't know. College was a lot different. When you're paying for it, I think it's a different thing. And if it's, it's something that I thought I was interested in. Yeah. I mean, it was computer-based stuff, which I'm glad that I know what I know.
What kind of computer-based stuff?
All kinds of shit. My degree was in electronic commerce, so basically internet business.
Nice. What you still use and do today?
Yeah, I mean, I think internet business is the way of the future. More and more things are being done there all the time. So
where was that tech school at?
God, that's like the dumbest shit I've ever said. I'm like, internet business is the way. Like, duh. It's like, I think cell phones are really going to advance how we communicate and do business.
Self-driving cars will be in place by 2024.
Oh, God. I'm like... I wonder what the future's going to be like 50 years from now. I really do.
I'm excited.
I think that's probably like I wonder if the change is so gradual you don't really know, because I feel like I'm noticing it now in my early 30s. But like I wonder, if like when you die you're like ready to die because you're like I don't even know where I am
we saw
anymore.
It from the start where like a personal computer wasn't even a thing in the house all the way up until now where everything is where it's at. Like we had it before there wasn't anything in place. So the kids now that I feel like we'll see a gradual progression of the kids that started with iPads and stuff and started with cell phones as children because they don't know what a life was like before cell phones.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I heard a younger comic talking about how God, what the fuck? Oh, how he's never like paid to listen to music before he's heard it.
Yeah. That's insane. To think about that, to not be able to go to a Sam Goody.
Or, it's crazy to think that some people have probably never paid for music. I mean, I play everything off of YouTube, or you have a free streaming thing, but it's crazy to think some people maybe never ever bought a music, just paid for it through the advertising. I don't know. I'm really excited about it because I think as an artist, it's just going to give us more power and freedom.
And once again, it easier for us too.
I'm just saying like cliche shit.
That's what happened. That's that French press coffee talking. That's what that is.
Yeah,
Speaking of cliches, I don't know how that has really anything to do with the segue actually, but that's pretty much they're quick episodes is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Getting down to the bare bones so you don't say any more cliche shit.
5 minutes at the 20-minute mark of this. You're going to get 10 minutes of good podcast out of me, man. That's it.
Right at the end. Before we shut the sweet sassy baby down, you want to give all your business stuff that you want to plug in your websites and all that jazz shows.
Check out Uncalled For. It's the comedy game show that I do with Jake Brown and Sam. That can be found at uncalledfor.com. Basically, it's a ripoff of Cards Against Humanity.
That's a good punch up.
But everything is done by comics. So, I mean, these cards are really funny. The live game show is really fun. And we have box sets available. If you would like to expand on your Cards Against Humanity set, they fit right in with those. We have a Denver version, and then we have some real exciting stuff getting ready to come up here in the future. So make sure and check that out. Also check out Whiskey and Cigarettes podcast, #1 podcast about podcasts. 2-time People's Choice winner.
We got voted
from Westward
68th best podcast in Denver. I'm pretty good. I hope we're gonna move up in the 50s this year.
68th. God damn it! Is there? I thought
I wanted 69th. That's
out of 411. That's pretty good.
Out of 70, I think is what it was.
But yeah, and then I don't know. Fucking check me out, Zac Maas. Find me, add me, be my friend. I do shows a lot. I do stand-up comedy also.
Yeah. He does it all. He does friendship.
I do friendship.
He does relationships.
If you get drunk with me, I'll rap for you.
Yeah, he used to be in the hip-hop game, like we all did. I think most of us spent a little bit of time in the hip-hop game.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hello. Well, that was going to do it for the first episode. Thank you so much for coming out.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. We will be right back with part 2 with Zac Maas. Everybody, thank you so much for listening, and we will see you soon.